Hey folks, I'm Preet Bharara,
And I'm Milgram.
and we just finished taping the Cafe Insider podcast here at our studio in Manhattan.
It went on for about 8 hours.
There's a lot to cover. One of the things we talked about was the investigation that seems to be happening with respect to colleagues of Hillary Clinton at the State Department and their use of email. What do you make of that, Ann?
Yeah, so it sounds like it's an internal investigation being run by the State Department, and it feels deeply problematic. As we've talked about, there's no statute, the statute of limitations has run on a criminal prosecution, and so it appears as though they're targeting 130 State Department employees who've now all gotten letters accusing them of sharing classified information that in fact wasn't classified at the time it was shared. It looks like it's politically motivated.
Well, it looks like retaliation, and the reason why it looks like retaliation is it's something that Donald Trump can never get out of his brain, and that is Hillary Clinton's emails, even though she's been gone from office for I think about 6.5 years. It would be different if we didn't have a president who, on an hourly basis it seems, is constantly going after his critics. As we've seen and we talk about in the Cafe Insider podcast today, he's literally talking about the whistleblower being a spy and maybe guilty of treason. So anybody who goes against him in any way, shape, or form, he wants to bring down using the power of the government, including prosecution. And
I think the point that we talked about a lot today, and I agree very strongly with, is what we're seeing is the administration using the power of law enforcement, the power of internal investigations. They're using it to their political advantage. And again, it's not that investigations or questions can't be raised about whether or not employees have engaged in problematic behavior. It's that these feel very vindictive and politically motivated. And there's been such a blurring of the lines between the president and law enforcement that it calls into question whether any of these investigations are actually legitimate.
so we talk about that at some length and a whole lot more on this week's Cafe Insider podcast. Go to cafe.com/insider to listen to the episode.